A Tale of Twins. It's around 11 p.m. in a chilly night of December when some under-teenage friends are chatting at the corner of a street that's full of people due to some dispute going on there. When all of a sudden, a girl enters in the street from the other corner, comes straight to them and asks softly what's going on there and why people are so belligerent. These friends, 3 in number, kept watching her steps while she approached to them, as she strolled straight without making room for the way forward through the people, against a human walking who could walk in a zigzag way only, while passing through crowded areas. The space in front of her just expanded to make room for her and collapsed behind her when she has passed through that, as if she was made of some other matter or antimatter, as the scientists say, against the normal matter we are aware of in our day-to-day interactions that binds everything together, instead of repelling us, and we do not feel any resisting force while standing close to each other. It became difficult for these friends to stand at a hearing distance from her, to listen what she was talking about, as she was exerting a repelling energy on them and they have to move back a few yards to balance that deterring effect. They assumed she was a spirit girl, as her features were different from the locals and her body full of medieval times jewelry making weird sounds, while walking and her looks burning like a fire. Her handbag, hanging on the right shoulder, emits a mysterious light on touching her freshly styled and hair curls, and getting back to normal on detachment, as if illuminated by some unknown power stored in her locks. Contrary to other spirit girls, she looked quite friendly and invites these fellows to come to her mystic place, sometime, just across the road, where she lives with her mum and dad and a twin sister, Abigail, to witness their superpowers, like abrupt burnings of materials without ignition, teleportation to extreme distances without any visible means, extraordinary reverse jumping of a pet cat who can also sing songs, and if they could spare a few hours a nearby space island may be visited to enjoy parasailing of a different kind of aliens called illuminators, as they are made of light energy. She told her name is Annabelle before disappearing abruptly as a whirlwind moving towards the haunted house. It's a decades-old famous house abandoned by the residents due to frequent scary experiences like resounds of abrupt and crazy giggling from the trees in the backyard and unexpected illuminations through the windows, without any electrical connections there. Those were switched off if a person passes by the house and switched on again when they have moved away, so no one could see what's going on inside the house. It looks some aliens live there whose smokeless whirlwinds could off and on be seen on the rooftop, probably when their gathering is going to start, or to end, generally in the middle of the day when people are having a day dosing, or after midnight when they are in deep sleep. These aliens have been living there for quite a few years now and are well aware of human families settled around. They do not harm people. If someone comes across accidentally, nor do they visit their homes so that kids or elders do not feel any antimatter effects they are made of, except the public places, like parks, where some people have witnessed their supernatural powers to appear like a kid or a grown-up person, that could hardly be identified as aliens unless they disappear abruptly leaving no signs behind. It is fascinating to play with them, but no one has defeated them yet in sprinting or reverse jumping that they normally do while playing with kids in human appearances in the nearby park. Parasailing is another sport they may outclass their human counterparts, even if weather is not windy, wherein they don't fear diving down from extraordinary altitudes, like birds. The Spirit Girl's talk was so thrilling that the next day kids decided to visit her place, after midnight when their parents were in deep sleep, to see the magic of her family. Instead of going there together, they decided to approach the house from 3 different windows so that they could knock only Annabelle's window and not her parents' or twins' window. They saw, in a room, a family sitting on a dining table with mum and dad on one side and 2 twin girls on the other side, so that it was hard for them to recognize who was Annabelle and who was Abigail, the only difference being their shoes and hairbands, with one wearing in black color and the other one dressed up in reds. When the twins' parents saw the kids coming close to the house, they disappeared abruptly, leaving their daughters behind to enjoy some fun time with their guests who have already told them that some kids might be coming to their place this evening. The girls welcomed their friends and told them that some of the magic they will see are just tricks while some are real mysteries. Then they asked them to close their eyes and open up again after a few seconds. The boys do the same and find themselves up on the rooftop. When they open their eyes, where some other kids were also playing on the swings, rising to unimaginable heights on both sides. The boys were excited to see all that and asked to ride on the swings, but they were told that only alien kids could ride on these swings because the passageway is through certain black holes that can propel effortlessly to horizon extremes. This was amazing for the kids, but all they could do was just stand outside and watch the magical swings. The guests, standing at a distance, asked the girls how did they become spirits. The girls said that in medieval times, around 400 AD, they were born in a human family, as twins, in this city, now called as Rome, that was once capital of Roman Empire at the brinks of River Tiber. It was well developed even in medieval times, having good civic facilities, but medical science was not developed much and pandemics were common, causing massive damage to human communities. At that time people used to live within the walled cities, guarded by fortresses, for almost whole of their life, and it was rare to visit some other place or to move out of these towns. If a pandemic breaks out, as most of the time they were surrounded by one or the other opponent's army. In one such pandemic our parents passed away when we were just toddlers. This Illuminators couple, we are living with now, then adopted us and raised as their kids, and we call them as Mum and Dad. This was a strange experience for us as, being humans, we couldn't stand close to them and lived in a separate room unless we grew up, and they told us that we need to develop our spiritual strengths through overactivation of senses if we want to see mysteries of the world, cosmic wonders of aliens made of light, and other marvels of nature we hadn't have seen before. While living with this couple we became curious to see these wonders. They told us that we could live with a human body, but when our spiritual senses are activated we won't feel any influence of gravitational or other such forces and would be able to move freely on the earth or in space. That's how we acquired spiritual powers and started doing wonders that normal people can't do. Now our senses are overactivated and we feel possessed by metaphysical strengths and can fly anywhere in the universe without any resistance. We could never imagine that we will have that much liberty to move up to the horizons with so much comfort and ease. Now for the last 1.5 millenniums we have been moving all around the cosmos but still keeping our Roman identity. We dress up in medieval age costumes and styles and use the same pottery for infusing our drinks and visit this home, off and on, that was actually our living place at that time. We have seen the glory of this town at its peak when it was capital of the Roman Empire covering almost half of the world, that collapsed afterwards. Most of the culture we see in Europe now traces its roots back to Roman-style living. Then both Abigail and Annabelle stood at a distance from the guests and started their wonders. First of all, Abigail ignited a tiny stone without any matchstick or a lighter. She did that by her fiery looks. The stone kept on burning till vanishing away, leaving no ash behind. This was a strange experience for the kids. They asked the twins how did they do that. Abigail, dressed up in blacks, stepped forward and told them that it was ignition with a sort of high-intensity ultraviolet light that their eyes can emit under super-excitation, if similar wavelength of moonlight in that range is matched with the wavelength of emitted from the eyes. Then the girls had a break from the magical tricks and offered a medieval-time drink, posca, brewed from vinegar and some juices of kids' choices, followed by a popular pizza and apple pie of that time. When the kids had finished midnight snacks, the girls again started their magic and call in a pet cat, Coco, to do some wonders of her own kind. She was excellent at reverse jumping, camouflaging her skin in differently colored stripes, and could sing like a girl. She displays a marvelous reverse jumping, almost revolving in a circle, and it looked if a rainbow was moving around a hollow space. The boys got stunned at that and asked the girls how can a cat display such a wonderful reverse jumping. The girls said don't be impressed. It's just a trick and not a real reverse jumping. When Coco came here she was camouflaged in a rainbow-colored ribbon wrapped around her body reflecting visible wavelengths of moonlight that your eyes can appreciate. She did reverse jumping just once to unwind the wrapped ribbon that's moving now in a circle using its stored energy while Coco is standing behind you. When she moved through your legs you couldn't see her because she reflects certain wavelengths beyond the visible light. While at your back she again wrapped herself up in another rainbow ribbon by rolling down on the floor that you may see now. Then the girls asked Coco to sing something before the boys leave for home as a gesture of honor. The girls told their guests that it's a Roman tradition to sing a song to see off the guests. Again it was astonishing for the kids to see a cat singing like a human being. The boys feel mystified with that and said this one seems to be a real magic as Coco was singing in Abigail's voice. Annabelle told them that Abigail has already sung that song and now they are just listening the echoes of the same while Coco isn't saying more than Maya on that suppressed in song's echoes and it looks if Coco is singing this sweet melody. Late in the night kids wanted to go home before their parents get awake. Annabelle, in red shoes, invited them to come tomorrow to watch some other wonders, like visiting some nearby space island. Then she asked them to close down their eyes and open again a few seconds later. After a pause they opened their eyes and found themselves back on the beds and fell asleep immediately. Next day kids again woke up just close to midnight and went to Annabelle's place who was waiting for them, along with Abigail, to visit a nearby space island to enjoy some cosmic wonders. She asked the kids to close down their eyes and open up again after a few seconds. When they opened their eyes they found themselves on a different planet in the open space. It was fascinating to have a view of the space and ultra-blue moon priming in cloudless skies. The boys were informed that this space island is 100,000 km away from Moon and inhabited by alien tribes, called Illuminators, who moved here from Earth millions of years ago when that was hit by a radiation storm rendering it unsuitable for their living. Now Earth's climate is adaptable and they are thinking to settle back there. These aliens are made of condensed light energy and different from the aliens living on Earth who are made of condensed sound energy. The kids could see Illuminators engaged in parasailing diving down from extraordinary high mountains. Kids were told that these aliens don't eat food or drink water as they can survive on light energy only. Very strong electrical and magnetic fields accompany these aliens and it's hard for human beings to stand close to them without overactivation of their senses. After staying there for some time the girls asked the kids to close their eyes so that they could be teleported back to their beds. While back on the beds kids fell into deep sleep since morning when they saw Mom standing close to their beds asking them to wake up and get ready for the school. They felt that they have been watching a dream all night. While in the school they share that dream with their friends in the break time and with that the story comes to the end.